Well, that's the point here. There's no, like, he's well worth his place, but they seem to do that. But you know, they saw the danger and they had to put him in.
It's usually a second half measure. Paul Flynn is blocked down by Peter Lawler, and Limerick get it away again. They own this first half. Plenty of time to go yet, however. Will Owen McGrath make a difference, number 22?
And Joe, what has made a big difference to Limerick is that Ollie Moran is playing out way out around the middle of the field, and Ken McGrath, because of Limerick's dominance in the half-back line and midfield, has to follow him. So that's what's creating the space inside for Andrew O'Shaughnessy and the other forwards.
That's added to there by Shawnee O'Connor. Hasn't played an awful lot of hurling this year. Inside towards Johnny Ryan. Runs into a shoulder. The shoulder is effective, that of Declan Prendergast. Out towards the wings with the clearance. Limerick players chasing everything. Any kind of lost hope they'll go for. Mark Foley. Again, the angle ball across. He's targeting O'Shaughnessy time and again. Murphy. This is McGrath. Steadying himself. Nobody near him. Chance to place it with precision. Dan Shanahan makes another very good diagonal run across here. Taking the fullback Stephen Lucy with him. This is inside. McGrath misses. And Malumbi puts it into the back of the net. Stephen Malumbi. His second ever goal. Got a goal against Cork in the All-Ireland quarterfinals, and he's got another one here. It was missed by Owen McGrath, not by Malumbi. 27 minutes are gone, and it's 2-8 to 1-4. Limerick still leading by double scores, but Waterford are right back in it.
A great worker's goal, Jerry. He ran 40 yards to get on the end of that.
This is quite a test. This is quite a match. This is quite a player. Michael Walsh. Inside, an inviting ball in, coming to take it and lose it. Dan Shanahan has it. Oh, just went up and over. It seemed destined for the top left-hand corner of the net, but it's Dan Shanahan's first point instead. Did we say Waterford were in something of a crisis? Were we concerned about Limerick owning the first half? How? What about this for a turnabout? A goal and a point, and all of a sudden it's back to a 6-point game, and Dan, you can be sure, was going for a goal.
A great save there by Brian Murray, just getting the top of the hurley to it, tipped it over the bar.
Broken down, jersey full. Again it is Owen Kelly, as you say, going to midfield. Seamus Prendergast on the 40 now, up against Brian Geary. That's much more his position. Across, Murray takes, handles with care, gets away from Milan. And John Milan keeps putting him under pressure. Comes out here towards Damien Rail. Challenge there by Stephen Malumbi. And this time Malumbi fouls, but the referee says play away, give you an advantage. Ken McGrath going backwards. Remember the catch he made against Cork? Not quite as spectacular, but every bit as effective. Back again. Malumbi, Milan are there. Hickey's there as well, however. He plays for Limerick, gets that ball away. Way down the field towards Brian Begley. What a catch with his left hand, providing it outside from Mike O'Brien, and Mike O'Brien puts it high. They cheer, well they might, it's over the bar. That's his first point. Good response to the little renaissance from Waterford, and what a catch by Begley. Turn provider. Good follow-through work by Mike O'Brien, ready, eager and ready to take his chance. At the other end, there's pressure on Mark Foley. It's an all-action game. Stephen Lucy getting bottled up there by John Milan. Still managing to get it away to the centre of the park. Donald O'Grady. No, it's actually Ollie Moran who gets there ahead of him. Ollie Moran with a catch, O'Grady behind him. And Mike Fitzgerald behind him again, and they've lost it. And lost it to Owen Kelly, and Kelly solos forward. Players are calling for it, ignores them all, goes for his score, comes off the post, comes down to Dan Shanahan, he kicks it away, his feet just got in the wrong way of the ball, and he puts it high, and he's put it wide. It was a real chance.
Well, that was a great chance for Dan there, just got caught under his feet and had to knock it away to get himself, you know, it looked as if it was going wide, hit the post, came back, and you know, Waterford got a lucky goal there, had to knock it away, and then subsequent shot went wide.
Yeah, his feet just got in a tangle under the ball that time. It came down so awkwardly from the post. Brian Murray having made that very, very good save from Dan earlier on, with the puck out this time. Under pressure once again. It's Mike O'Brien there. Sonny O'Connor trying to get it in. Mike Fitzgerald as well, and the referee says a bit of a loose pull there. It's a free against Limerick, and they have lost 13 metres possession-wise. Waterford have gained that amount onto their own 65 metres for not retreating quickly and arguing the toss with the referee. And the notebook is shown there to the number 23, that's Shawnee O'Connor.
This is a crucial time for Limerick, because you know, there's 5 or 6 minutes to go now without a time, and the last thing you want to do is give a free 13 metres on, because Ken McGrath is an excellent free taker, and this brings him well into his range.
Well, this team are back into it. Only 7 between them. John Mullane hasn't scored so far. Ken McGrath with this free, capable of pointing it. He's done exactly that. Wonderful point from a free. And they eat into Limerick's lead some 4.5 minutes before half-time. Look at the distance out. Look at the direction. It never wavered. Just went straight as a die over the little black spot on the crossbar. Tony Brown breaks it. It's Owen Kelly who comes onto it. Up towards Owen McGrath. The McGrath brothers could be highly influential. Would have a wild swing that time, but he gets away. Impishly forward. That's Brian Phelan. And the bull himself has a go, but to the left. Disappointed with that. Hasn't ever scored in the championship. 4 wides now for Waterford.
And Waterford have Stephen Malumphey is playing on the right now for the last few minutes, and Mark Foley wouldn't be renowned as a man marker, plays more of a zonal defender, and that's going to cause him a bit of bother.
Worth keeping an eye on. This is Tony Brown. He's always worth keeping an eye on. There was an elbow being used. It's against Tony and his team, so it's a free to Waterford. He has been some player over the years. Made his debut at this level 15 years ago, and what about Ollie Moore? And you can say much the same about him. Ken McGrath places it. Again, the run by Dan Shanahan. They're slow at tracking him. They know where the ball's going to go, but Dan hasn't quite got the radar working on this occasion. The old jersey's been pulled fairly severely, hasn't it? So Brian Murray, once again ready with his puck out. Towards Shawnee O'Connor, breaks down from his stick towards Mike O'Brien. Anticipating was Malumphey, the man who worked so hard in the middle of the field for Waterford. Huge one by Owen Kelly. Up towards Dan Shanahan, and Dan drops it. Lucy battling, trying to get it out, needing the support there of Debian Rail. Out towards the wings, just clearing the lines, just averting the danger, at least momentarily.
But Waterford have done this in games and past for puck outs to negate the puck out. They're bringing Michael Brick Walsh back under the puck out, and then Malumphey comes 30-40 metres up feet to pick up the breaks, and Mark Foley stayed back in his left half back position that time, and you know, Cork fell into the same trap in the last week, and they'll have to put a man marker on him. Peter Lawler did very well on him, and I think they may have to switch to wing backs.
Well, we'll watch for that as Owen Kelly prepares to take this sideline cut. Dropping it in there dangerously, but runs beyond Dan Shanahan once again. Nobody at top of the right. Opening it out here, looking for somebody coming in. It's McGrath, taking it well. Owen McGrath, tight angle, back to John Mullane. Unable to swing the stick, however. Shawnee O'Connor got there, and Peter Lawler managed to get the ball away for Limerick. Out as far as Downey Ryan. Running into the shoulder there of Michael Welch. Big one downfield for Begley to chase after, but somewhat in vain. And a line ball to Waterford. In points, it's 15 points to 9. Again, good reading of the game here by Seamus Hickey. So intelligent, anticipates, added to by O'Shaughnessy. In towards Mike Fitzgerald, has gone into the corner. Back out again towards Ken McGrath, the centre half back for Waterford, is fouled. Free to the Dacia. The referee will have a word or two with one of the Limerick players. It's going to be O'Shaughnessy. And the black notebook has been shown to the number 13. 2 minutes of additional time will be played. In scoring chances, it's interesting. Waterford have created 15 scoring chances, only made 7, as you can see, 1-6. Limerick have actually only made 1 scoring chance less, 14. But they have been able to take most of theirs. Again, it's Seamus Hickey, not for the first time, tidy as you like, getting the ball away, a huge distance. They try to keep it in play. Mike Fitzgerald battling for it. Linesman Dickie Murphy has his flag raised, however. It's going to be a sideline ball. And that Sideline ball will be to Waterford.
Well, Ger, Waterford responded now to Limerick's attacks up the right, because Mike Fitzgerald has gone to the corner. They left Owen Murphy on him, and Tony Brown is actually marking Andrew O'Shaughnessy, who's been brought out the right half forward, which probably has brought a little bit of the sting out of the Limerick attack.
They may switch it around again during the second half. Right now, it's Owen McGrath into Dan Shanahan. He had a support player, it was Milan. He's gone for the point. It's a second point for Dan Shanahan, but I can tell you that John Milan was waiting after Owen McGrath made the pass. Dan Shanahan hitting it, but right in front of goal was number 15, unmarked. 5 points the margin. Limerick lead. The puck out here, O'Shaughnessy. That's collected brilliantly by Tony Brown, the third man to mark O'Shaughnessy during this first half. Rail coming out, making a connection with Paul Flynn. Owen McGrath, shoulder there by Mark Foley. Spills loose to Dan Shanahan, trying to step inside Stephen Lucy. The referee blows his whistle. Free into Waterford. Late in the first half, a chance to reduce the arrears to just 4 points as we head towards the break. And we're deep into stoppage time. Referee having words. And there's a yellow card here for Damien Rail, Limerick's captain.
Well, obviously, Ger, he said something to Seamus Roach, took issue with the decision. I'd like to see it again. I didn't think there was that much in it, to be honest with you. I think Stephen Lucy sort of stood his ground and leaned in on top of Dan Shannon after the ball broke into him. But,
it must have been something.
Well, just subsequent to this, when Dan Shannon came onto the ball and Stephen Lucy just tackled him, and the referee was very quick giving a free to Waterford, and I think Damien took issue with that.
The bedraggled looking Dan Shanahan there, lurking with intent on the edge of the small rectangle, being marked by Stephen Lucy. Paul Flynn, pretty central position for him, and he puts it over the bar without much difficulty. He's pointed 3 of his frees, and right now only 4 between them, where Justin McCarthy's team at one stage were a long way behind. It's turned around very significantly in the last 10 minutes, but Andrew O'Shaughnessy, star for Richie Bennis's team, with a goal and 6 points in the first half. Flynn replying there late in the 37th minute, and Limerick go in. Donny Ryan got a goal after 5 minutes. Clinton Hennessy, who was busy at half-time here in Croke Park in the second of the semi-finals. It's Limerick who lead. Limerick 2-9, Waterford 1-8. We'll be right back.
They're not the opposition. They're the enemy. You're not a player. You're an all-star. What prepares a top athlete for the moment of truth? Lucozade Sport helps maximize fluid absorption while delivering fuel to the working muscles, improving top athletes' endurance. Lucozade Sport, proven when tested.
Go online. GoRacing.ie is Horse Racing Ireland's new website. Horse Racing. Let yourself go!
Another first from Benecol. The first cholesterol-lowering mini drink that's full of goodness and free from dairy. New Benecol Dairy Free. For a different view, the Irish Examiner.
O2 Broadband is here. So now, you can be online in more places than ever before. This is not just broadband. It's broadband brought to life, wherever you go. O2 broadband from just €15 a month for the first 3 months from your nearest O2 store. See what you can do.
It's not a goal. It's a target. You're not a player. You're an all-star.
Half-time at Croke Park. 35 minutes left to decide the pairing for this year's All-Ireland hurling final. It's Limerick leading 2-9 to 1-8. A look at the stats from that first half. There's another stat, perhaps it's not up there on that screen. Limerick started this All-Ireland semi-final at 4 o'clock. Waterford started it at 20 past 4. Waterford are 4 points down, but Michael Dignan and Anthony Daly could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, you know, Limerick just started unbelievably well. I don't think it had anything to do with Waterford's focus or anything. It was just that Limerick were so hungry. They obviously took the criticism and they used that positively, and they came out and they absolutely hunted in packs. They had their homework done. Ollie Moran, as we said before, they drifted off. Ken McGrath picked off a couple of scores. Andrew Shockins was on fire in the corner. They dropped back their midfielders, and they were physical as well. And Waterford didn't want to know, and it looked like at one stage they were going to throw up their hands. But credit to them, you know, if they do go on and make the Ireland final, they look at the 10 minutes before half-time of this game as the turning point of their year. They really put the shoulder to the wheel. Owen McGrath came on, and Owen Kelly went to midfield, and those changes have worked wonderfully. So, you know, it's still all to play for, but they did look out of it.
The start that Limerick made to the match, Anthony, I thought they were going to burn Croke Park to the ground.
Yeah, and ahead by 10 points, Michael, around the 20-minute mark, and playing fantastic stuff. I mean, their backs dominant. Their two cornerbacks absolutely brilliant, and the difference that Damien Rail, missing in the Munster final, has made already. And right through, Mark Foley playing great stuff, Peter Lawler, right up, as Michael says, to Ollie Moran, who we spoke about that being crucial. Ollie Moran getting something out of the Ken McGrath tussle. Well, he has done more than get that. He's been on top.
Yep.
But just as good maturity from Waterford as well. They didn't drop it. They fought on. They said, right, this is 70 minutes, not 20 minutes, and they've played their way back into it. But I'd say if you told Richie Bennett's coming up, he'd be 4 points ahead at half-time. He'd take the hand off you at that stage, I'd say, because they came up here underdogs, and they have come out and they have really taken the game. And the big thing, Michael, is they have come with a game plan. They've dropped Mike O'Brien back in front of Dan Shanahan early on, allowed Mark Foley to be there for the sweeping ball, said to Waterford, right, hit it out to the cornerbacks if you want. Let's drop back and cover and keep our goal intact. If you told Richie Bennett that he was going to be 10 points up at one stage in the first half, he probably have called for the men in the white coats. Let's look at the start that Limerick made. They went with Donny Ryan. Donny got the goal. Yeah, Donny's an all-action player, you know, and sometimes he does the odd stupid thing, but when he's on the game, you know, he's a great player. And Mike O'Brien, who's been in the game an awful lot, kind of mishit a ball. This often happens in hurling, a little break inside, and Donny onto it like a flash, and one-handed, great finish. You know, gave the goalie no chance. And Brian Begley is a handful, you know. Declan Prendergast is struggling against him on the high ball, and that's a great finish by Donny. And he's that type of player, and he's all action, all go. And you know, in fairness, the two cornerbacks, and a lot of the Waterford backs were in trouble. You know, you were saying make a change, but you couldn't change them all. And they eventually settled down, and you know, and they've shown why they're here. They're around a long time, and Limerick, you know, have to start well in the second half, or Waterford can keep doing this. Andrew O'Shaughnessy, I'd like to know what he has for his breakfast in the morning, because I'd like a bit of it. He's on fire, Michael, there's no doubt about it, and we see right from the start. And a bit funny on the Waterford end of it, starting him on Aidan Carney. You know, they'd know each other from Coleman's, and maybe he's roasted him a few times in training over the years, but he certainly was on top early on and taking on the ball. And a great flick here, far corner, like no real power in it, but just spotted the far corner. And when O'Shaughnessy is on this form, like, I mean, you have to think, Owen Murphy's in the other corner. He won an All-Star cornerback last year. Why not start him on him? Because he had a super game against Clare as well. Yeah, but I'm amazed that Limerick have taken him out of corner forward and put him out wing forward, and now he's on Tony Brown, and Tony Brown has massive experience. Of course. And out in the wing, Shaughnessy's a bit lost. And I thought it was a very strange move. You know, leave him in there, show a bit of patience, and get the ball into him, and he'll do damage. As the half was going on, and obviously Waterford were getting a bit frustrated, Dan the man and John Mullane, they were shouting at the sideline, where's the ball, get the ball into us, and all this kind of stuff. It was Mullumphey that sneaked in for the goal in the end. Well, that's right, Michael, and you'd say there was a bit of the old frustration beginning to creep in here again, but they still showed a bit of maturity that they've been showing all year, and a great ball, I think it was Simone Kelly, then moving out to the side. Now, instead of going from a crazy shot from the corner, great ball across. Mullumphey just sneaking in. Still a good finish. Still a good finish, like he had to shorten up his grip. and just sneaked in front of Mark Foley and shortened up his grip and just put it away to the corner. Did no wild swipe, just a flick to the corner.
I think Justin McCarthy be saying to lads, will you put in the ball low?
Yeah.
They're putting in high balls there, just because Dan Shannon's a big man doesn't mean he's going to win every ball in the air.
Yeah.
And every time it goes in low, they look dangerous, but when it goes in high, they don't, because, as Anthony said, Damien Reel and Seamus Hickler are the two best in the game for sweeping.
Okay, we have another commercial break coming up right now. We're back with more right after that.
They're not the opposition. They're the enemy. You're not a player. You're an all-star. Club Energized Sports isotonic formula rehydrates the body faster than water, fueling the passion. It's extraordinary what the players go through to get there. Then again, it's extraordinary what you go through when you are there. The Bank of Ireland Football Championship.
Exclusive to Extravision and O2. The perfect summer offer for anyone who wants to stay cool in the sun or the shade. Get a free pair of designer sunglasses worth a cool €99 when you buy or upgrade any O2 mobile phone at Extravision, including the Nokia 2626 for just €69, or the Nokia 6080 for just €99, both with up to €80 free call credit. So don't give up on summer just yet. This exclusive deal is only available from O2 and Extravision.
Fall asleep and you will find all your dreams come true. What color will tomorrow be? Wait and see.
Get into the fast lane at your local Spar and Eurospar. Experience the thrill of the checkered flag with these remote-controlled Grand Prix racing cars. Get your Grand Prix racing car for only $39.99 with 40 tokens, plus bonus tokens on selected Unilever products. There's one token with every €10 spent. See in store for details.
Mick O'Dwyer here, and I'm writing exclusively for the Irish Sun. Don't miss my hard-hitting weekly column on the road to Sam Maguire. For GA action, it's got to be the Irish Sun.
It's not a goal. It's a target. You're not a player. You're an all-star.
Well, a great crowd of 80,546 here at Croke Park watching this fascinating semi-final between Limerick and Waterford. Limerick leading 2-9 to 1-8. Now, on the Sunday Game evening edition here on this channel, we have our usual roundup of the weekend's events and Gaelic games, highlights of the big matches, and analysis from the studio panel. All that and more tonight at 9:30. Good, that's confirmation of all that. The band are on the field. We're waiting for Waterford and Limerick to rejoin us. OK, tell me what's going to happen in the second half.
It's very hard to know, Michael, with this year's Hurling Championship. But
you did a Waterford bus before the match, so you're still in.
I was thinking of my Limerick nephews, you know. Like but, well, I just think Limerick now have to regroup and say, right, lads, we led by 10. right, we're still 4 ahead. We won the first half by 4 points. We have to try and hang on here now and win. Not hang on, but take on the game again. You know, they have to say to themselves, what did we do well? We took on the game. We came in front of our men and drive on like that again. Can we start like that again?
Because if they try to hang on, they're not going to win.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, well, and one thing that Limerick have in their favour possibly is the amount of subs they've used during the year. All these matches they've had, the likes of Pat Tobin, James O'Brien, Barry Foley on the bench. Like Waterford have their trump card moved in already and Owen McGrath. But I just felt before half time, Brick Walsh, Owen Kelly, Tony Brown, Ken McGrath were getting on the ball an awful lot more out the field. And if you use that ball wisely inside, you know, they're back into the game, but there's a long, long way to go. And, you know, in the last 10 minutes, the Munster final was decided. Games aren't won in the first 10 minutes, they're won in the last 10 minutes. And, you know, Waterford, you feel, will keep hurling until the end. Whether Limerick do or not, that's the big question.
Well, that's the thing from Waterford. It was said earlier on, this is what they've done all year. They've finished games very well.
And if you look at it, Michael, a real feature of Waterford's play this year has been the performance in the second half in particular of the Brick Walsh. He has really come into the game. And if I have one criticism of Justin, and who am I to criticise Justin? But I think he maybe overdoes the rotation and the changes. Like, if you looked at the Cork games, I thought that it was fair to say that they beat the Cork midfield both days, himself and Owen Kelly. And he changed it around and started Jack Kennedy there. And I just sometimes think he overdoes. That's their best midfield, Owen Kelly and the Brick Walsh. And if they can take over in the second half, it will supply a lot of ball into Dan. We've seen nothing from John Mullane yet. So, you know, you need to get those guys into the game. Paul Flynn, John Mullane.
Well, there was no doubt, as Anthony was saying, Michael, when that switch was made, suddenly Waterford had a different shape on them.
They did, yeah, but like Waterford, they're a more mature team now, but like Jerry Fitzpatrick, their physical trainer, is one of the top guys in the country. He's also a sports psychologist down in Waterford. He's not mentioned that much in their backroom team, but he is a huge influence over this Waterford team. And he'll be saying to them at half time, look, we have the work done. We're 8 or 9 years at the top. Just keep hurling, and we'll come out on top on this. And Limerick, on the other hand, don't have the experience of the big day there.
John Mullane would like to get on the score sheet, obviously.
He would, but I tell you, his man is very close. I know Shaughnessy hit a mess up, but if you're picking a man in a match at this stage, it would be probably Shaughnessy and followed by Seamus Hickey, corner back. He was absolutely fantastic. Mopped up ball, left, right and centre, covered when the ball broke off Dan Shannon and cleared great. Good long clearances, 50, 60-yard clearances.
For much of that first half, Dan and John Mullane in particular were cast in the role of having to chase Limerick defenders to try and catch up.
I think Dan Shannon is, when he's out the field, he needs to be drifting in on the ball. He's not actually an out-and-out, you'd call typical wing forward, getting under the puck outs and that type of thing. He wants to be drifting on the move. He actually doesn't really like being... I saw him once or twice under the high ball with Foley in the first of actually pulling out of from under the high ball. So I actually think Seamus Prendergast on the wing or in the centre with Dan inside. I think he's more dangerous closer to the goals. And obviously the jersey...
He's still chatting about the point that wasn't given the first half.
He must be telling the other umpires what happened down the other end in the first half. The jersey was
kept on the jersey. He obviously wants to look rough for the second half.
He's telling them, look at me, lads.
Yeah, but you know, we say it in hurling all the time, but the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes of the second half, you know, if Waterford get the first score to get back into the game, get their confidence up, like, it's wanting to rattle them. It's a bit like Kerry against Monaghan. Monaghan gave them a fierce rattle, but Kerry kept their composure and went on and won. It's wanting to rattle them, go 10 points up. But now if Limerick can go 5, 6, 7, you know, it can really finish off Waterford because it's say this is not our day. Whereas if they start well, you know, they're really back in there. And I still stick with Waterford to win it.
You see, Limerick in some of their better performances this summer have come from a situation of crisis in games, 10 points down themselves to tip. They were 10 points up today, and they're seeing that lead slip.
Yeah, and as it goes on, if Waterford get closer, as Michael has said, the Waterford crowd will lift behind them and they'll try and drive them to the finish line. And it'll be interesting to see then how Limerick reacts. You know, the crowd are at it already.
They're driving there already. Like the atmosphere, you hear it stand the back. Like there's an absolutely magic atmosphere. Like credit to the hurling this year. Anthony said it before the game. It's been an outstanding championship for hurling. But again, there games start off sluggish. Limerick running away. We said, it's going to be one side. Next thing, power back into it, and that's what it's made it one of the great championships. I think it goes back to the 90s with intensity, with passion, with so many teams being so equal, and it's absolutely fantastic.
Richie Venice and Limerick are keeping Waterford waiting.
Well, that's probably a deliberate cry. They're just coming out, I think, Michael there, but he's probably saying, leave him out, let him cool down a little bit out there. We'll wait, we'll gather our thoughts, get ourselves together. Can we get back to our game plan now, Michael? That's crucial, because sometimes that can go out the window after a while. Fellas are told all the week, you go here, next thing they forget is in the heat of the second half. So you'll have to set them down again now and get back onto it again straight away.
No changes on either side, I gather, as we go back to the commentary box again to Jared Canning and Donald O'Grady.
Second half immediately underway then, Michael, and straight away it's Limerick hoping to build on their 4-point advantage. As you say, it was once 10. Andrew O'Shaughnessy started the first half, gone back into top of the right. Here he is, possession immediately. Oh, what a good stop there! Shonny O'Connor had the chance, and Clinton Hennessy got there first, and it's cleared by Owen Murphy. What a start to the second half that would have been. Comes out to the Brick Walsh, the captain, getting it out as far as his midfield partner Owen Kelly. Well, indications of just how vulnerable Waterford can be in their own full back line. That shot has gone to the right and it's gone wide.
Well, Gerard, that would have been a tonic start for Limerick in the second half, but I thought Johnny O'Connor did poorly enough here. He just knocked it in straight at Clinton Hennessy. He could have taken on 3 or 4 steps more and gone into the edge of the square. Look, plenty of room. Could have gone on another few steps and stuck it into the corner net, but great save by Hennessy. Did the right thing in the right place, but would have been a great start for Limerick.
Well, the wide so far. Waterford 7 against 2. Much more profligate. That's taken away there by Hickey once again. Carney trying to take it onto his stick, eventually gets there. Little shoulder coming in. Back out to Tony Brown. The pressure play of Limerick immediately started the second half. Forcing the game. Begley, hand pass. Oh, what a goal! He's done it again! It's Tony Ryan! In the 37th minute! Restoring their sense of belief in themselves. It was Begley who got it. A little bit of scrap ball there. One time into Tony Ryan, and the first time Paul is in the back of the net. 3-9 to 1-8. Limerick are leading. 7 points between them again.
Tremendous goal. Great work by Begley. Great work by Ollie Moran, first of all, to stop Tony Brown coming out with the ball, and great work from Begley. Kept his composure. Put it across shoulder height, and Donny just pulled on it. It was left a bit loose, but pulled on it back in the net. Great score.
I think Tony Brown will have certain nightmares about that last goal. Paul Flynn. What a battle they face now, and he's put it wide. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Richie Bennis' side will never have a better chance of getting to the All-Ireland final, and he knows it. I don't think he was too pleased with the puck-outs of Brian Murray in the first half. Let's see how he makes out this time. And again, Waterford win that first puck-out. Comes back out here to John Milan. Angling this one across. Murray secure. As far as Damien Rail. Plenty of time. Can Waterford come back from this? A long, long way to go. They have the hurlers. They have the skill, no doubt about that. Ken McGrath going forward to his brother Owen. He's made a big difference since coming on. Oh, good block down by Brian Geary. The fullback Stephen Lucy prevents it going for a 65. A little hand pass to link up with the man in the corner, Seamus Hickey. Sweeping, clearing, getting it away down towards Tony Ryan. Ryan will be on for a hat-trick if he gets another chance. Owen Murphy getting it back. Owen McGrath touches it down to another Owen, Owen Kelly. That's going to the right-hand side unless it can curl in, which it can't. Wasted opportunity, and that's 9 wides now for Waterford. Those 2 matches against Cork have taken their toll as far as I'm concerned. This was a great block down here a moment ago. Owen Kelly's had 4 shots at the target, hasn't made one, and Justin McCarthy will realise that. We may have Niall Moore in very, very shortly. Shorty O'Connor here. Might he be the player who'll be replaced? You never know. There's Declan Prendergast. Over the head there of Donald O'Grady with difficulty. Gets back, second time of asking. Wins it. Showing tenacity. Fighting his corner. Brian Geary. Quick look up. Nobody getting tight on him. It was a free shot. He should have done better. The intensity levels that Waterford were showing in the last 10 minutes of the first half, they're not very evident at the beginning of the second as Niall Moran comes on, and it's Mike Fitzgerald, in fact, the man who is making way. Well, a big hug from the manager. 20-man game, they emphasise. I'm sure they'll tell you it's about a 30-man game with their big panel. Prendergast, they've got a fight. And he's put that wide. They've got to put everything they have got now, Waterford, into the next 30 minutes. Otherwise, their dreams of getting to a final are well and truly gone.
And one important thing as well for Limerick from here on in, their discipline will have to be very good. They have to contest things as they did, fight for everything on the floor and make sure they're getting nothing soft to Waterford. And Owen McGrath's gone in full now to run around, and Dan Shannon's come out to win.
Waterford mounting another attack. They've put 4 balls wide at the start of this second half alone. As you can see, it's only 5.5 minutes in. And again, that's another one. Dan Shanahan this time. They're absolutely rocked. And he would love a chance. Hasn't really had a shot at goal so far, John Molan. Might have had if he got a pass in the first half when he was well positioned for a possible goal. And the Limerick fans are letting Waterford know what they think of it. The puck out. This time Limerick trying to win their own. Mike O'Brien was swung that time by Michael the Brick Walsh. Back to Owen Murphy. The Munster champions in difficulty. Across towards Stephen Malumphey. About to be tackled by Mark Foley. Keeps it away. Brian Phelan. Back down once again. Missed by Lucy, but fortunate that there was a support player, Peter Lawler, there to help him. Back to take the return. The doctor in the regional hospital in Limerick getting it away. Controlled by Donal O'Grady. From 65 metres out, he has spurned the opportunity to get another one for his team. And a first for the day for him. 4 wides for Limerick.
Well, Joe, you'll be expecting Limerick to launch it into the square, into Brian Begley, and hope a break or two will come off, because Shaughnessy and Donny Ryan have the beating of the men. And, you know, we've seen Limerick hit away wasteful possession like that in games gone by, and they'll have to be very well disciplined to make sure they hit the ball into the edge of the square, and they will trot it in there if they do that.
Scoring chances so far. Waterford have 22, as you can see, but have taken just 9. Much more successful have been Limerick. John Molan beaten away by Seamus Hickey. Back in once again it comes. Owen McGrath feeding it in. Here's Malumphey, got their goal after 27 minutes. An angle ball across Flynn. First touch not good enough, but it's still in play, or is it? No, it's not. It stepped out over the sideline. Ball got out as well. A puzzled look on the face of Paul Flynn, the Ballygunner. Just watch him here, taking it in. Now did it cross? Yes, just about maybe.
A lot of credit there going to Damien Rail. Timed his tackle perfectly, got into the little half hook, and Paul Flynn missed it because of that. So let off for Limerick, but good defence and good timing there by Damien Rail.
7 points between them. This one, it's broken down by Shorty O'Connor. And this time the referee is in immediately, spotting the foul on Michael Walsh. Free to Waterford. This is Phelan here, Michael Walsh in there. He was being held back. That's the reason why the referee blew the whistle. Seamus Roach from County Tipperary keeping a very tight rein on the match. They wait inside. Rail on Paul Flynn, that's his marker. And the physio attending to Mark Foley while we watch Ken McGrath show the strain of the effort. 3 Sundays on the trot. Remember, from next year, if everything goes to plan, the Munster finalists will go straight through to the semi-finals. No quarter-finals for them or for the Leinster champions. We saw Kerry in the match before this looked themselves quite stale, I thought, for a long part of that game against Monaghan. Eventually they pulled through. 3 is taken, but there's a physio still on the field. It's the Limerick physio. Well, Mark Foley's okay, able to continue. Had some great moments over the years. 39th championship appearance.
Well, Waterford obviously have a tactic, Jerry, because they've used it 2 or 3 times now, whereby, you know, when there's long range frees that Ken McGrath won't go from, they just slip it up the line and have Stephen Malumphey or Dan Shannon make the run.
And that's lobbed in there towards the square, broken down, rolled up here very successfully, and Shawnee O'Connor this time, and the referee says foul by the number 23. Here he is. He was trying to get Malumphey away from him.
I think that's very harsh, Joe. You know, anybody coming over the ball like that, you know, he was being held. What do you expect? If the referee doesn't blow quickly, you're going to try and struggle free, and I'd have to disagree with that one. I think that was a very handy one for Waterford.
Yeah. Well, they'll take the handy ones. No arguing by Limerick, because they don't want to make it even easier. It's already on the 20-metre line, a little bit of an angle for it. Paul Flynn standing over it. 3-pointed freeze in the first half. And he's got himself another. Let's go down to the sideline to Joanne Cantwell.
Well, it's just happening now, Jerry. You may notice that John Milan is being recalled as Shane O'Sullivan joins the action. Jerry.
So Shane O'Sullivan coming in to join the action here and playing his 10th championship match. Very disappointing afternoon for John Milan. Didn't quite happen for him.
Yeah, well, I think now, Jared, what Waterford seem to be doing there is that Brick Walsh has gone up centre forward and Seamus Prendergast has gone in full forward, and Dan Shannon still is on the left, and Omar McGrath has gone to the right corner on Seamus Hickey.
Well, serious measures been taken to try and arrest the trend. Michael Brick Walsh, can he give the leadership now when it's most dearly needed? Mark Foley fighting for everything, as befits a team with a 6-point advantage, 2 better than they had at half-time. Tony Ryan got the second goal. Shawnee O'Connor letting it fly, but putting it to the left, and another wasted chance. Can't afford to throw this lead away in that particular fashion.
Yeah, that's criminal, Jar. When you get a chance like that, all you had to do was hold it a little bit and wait for Shaughnessy and Donny Ryan to get on a run and just pop it over the top into them, and they would have had another chance of a goal there, but far too casual from Shawnee O'Connor altogether, and wasted chance for Limerick.
Well, it looks like Ollie is going to have to go to the sideline. I'm sure the referee, when he sees this, is going to say, let's have a temporary substitution, and Richie Bellis is going to have to do that. So Ollie Moran, having scored 2 points in the first half, is going to have to go off momentarily. And the player who will come on will be James O'Brien. James O'Brien from Brewery. He's the temporary sub then for Limerick, who lead in points by 18 points to 12. 12 and a half minutes into the second half. Owen Kelly. They've come from tight situations in the past, Waterford. This season alone, they're very much a second half team, as everybody knows. Malumphy getting it down towards Owen Kelly, spills away here. Damien Rail once again to pick up the pieces, pursued by Seamus Prendergast, gets it away into the centre of the field. Everybody racing for it, picking it up or trying to pick it up is Donald O'Grady, chasing after him Michael Brick Walsh. Brian Phelan's there as well. Phelan with the little pick-up, out to Tony Brown here, pressurised, still gets his shot in. Where's it going? To the left, it's gone wide. Well, now if they start hitting those long shots from some distance out, that's his 13th wide in all for Waterford this afternoon. That's a huge tally by their standards. They're normally very slick about their hurling. They've only got 10 scores so far in 48 and a half minutes of play. A little bit of a...
Yeah, Joe, what happened there was that Sean O'Connor was down injured, and Brian Phelan came over. He was probably feigning it and pushed him over, and Lil Shamozzle started after that.
Well, Shamozzles or otherwise, let's hope